Surrender, Battalion Dragonoid, or we will destroy you.
私はドラゴノイドの巨像の力を持っているので、何も私を止めることはできません。私は神です。
Hey guys, it's Bakugan, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Dragonoid Destroyer from Mechtanium Surge. Now, for this one, I don't actually have the original Bakugan that came with it, so to substitute the two that came with it, just for this review, to show off its mechanisms, I'm going to be using Let's Go and Reptac. So, this won't be a review of the Bakugan that come with it, only the mech suit. And with that out of the way, let's get right into it. Starting out with Dragonoid Destroyer in its closed form, one of the first things that stands out to me is that it's very clean for one of the big boys. There's not a whole lot sticking out of it, like if we look at some of the others we've looked at so far this week, like Maximus Dragonoid or Dragonoid Colossus. There's a whole lot of spikes and random junk sticking out of it, and it doesn't really look all that great in this closed form. However, with Dragonoid Destroyer, it's a lot cleaner and a lot more neater. It keeps this pretty egg-looking shape, and you don't see a whole lot of random spikes sticking out of it. Just a lot of the detail for the mech suit itself. And what is sticking out, mainly these blue pieces, are actually part of the gimmick of the toy. So, there's two real ways to activate this. There's a ramp, and there's also a hole at the top. You need a Bakugan to land there. You can either roll it up the ramp or drop it from the top. One thing to note about the ramp is this is an older one, and it's kind of been worn down a bit. So the ramp is kind of at a weird angle where it's really hard to roll your Bakugan up. My solution to that is just to pop it back like that and do that, and you got a nice straight ramp, and that's a lot easier to roll the Bakugan up. And these two little pouches here, as you can tell, they hold Bakugan, and what you're supposed to do is you take your Sky Raiders and you load them in. You can load in two of them. Just gonna load in one, and you'll see what happens when I activate it. So as you may have seen there, when it opens up the shoulders, they trigger the magnets in the Sky Raiders, and they shoot out. It's a really cool spectacle to look at. But yeah, now that we have this thing open, we have a lot more to look at. Starting off, we have these missiles on the side, so you can push this button and shoot them pretty simultaneously, or you can also shoot them one at a time. Yeah, that definitely makes it feel a lot more like a toy rather than a game piece. Even though this is a game piece and you can use this in a game, this would be a battle suit. And as you can see on the back, it's for Pyrus Bakugan, and it gives a bonus of 300 Gs. If you can see that, zoom in a bit. Yeah, that wasn't printed on very well, but it's definitely a 300. Anyhow, looking at this, it's definitely an intimidating looking robot, and I really like all these mechanical details, like these sort of exhaust pipe looking things on the back. There's just all sorts of really small detail. I really like these parts of the arms. There's a lot going on there. on these arms. There's just a whole lot of small detail. You can see on the legs and these toes, they can snap and then you can move them back. I guess you can stand it like that or something. I don't really know why that's there, but it's something you can do, I guess. There is also 6 ports on this Bakugan right here, 2 on each arm, and also 1 on each toe, and those are for your Baku Nano, none of which come in this set, but as you can see, you can pimp it out a bit. So yeah. Another pro that this big boy has over some of the others is that there's a lot more going on with the paint than some of the others. See, if we bring in Dragonoid Colossus here, you'll get some silver and orange, but for the most part it's just a big chunk of red plastic. However, on Dragonoid Destroyer, you can see there's a lot more. There's the yellows and paints put on layers. So yeah, you can see multiple colors put together. Still not all that impressive, but it's definitely better than some of the others, and I definitely think that is a pro going in its favor because it looks a lot better than some of the others as like an action figure. Let's see some more of that. My 2 biggest problems with Dragonoid Destroyer are with the locking mechanism and with the opening mechanism. As you can see here on this bottom piece, these little pins are basically all that's holding it together, and when it spins, it's supposed to retract those. So it just takes a little bit of a twist, and it's really easy to accidentally open. So sometimes it can be a bit hard to keep closed. My problem with the opening mechanism is sometimes it'll go too far and it'll open like that, and that is kind of weird. So yeah, it's not a flawless design, but you know. My overall thoughts on Dragonoid Destroyer is it's pretty good. Compared to some of the other big boys, he's pretty much in the middle. He does have some pros going for him, such as the paint and all the detail, but he also has some flaws. I do like that it's not just a useless chunk of plastic, and it is an actual game piece. However, that doesn't really mean much in terms of being a toy, and how enjoyable it is for kids. I feel like smaller kids are going to have a lot of fun with this thing, but as collectors, it's more just a gimmicky toy, and not all that impressive. So yeah, not the best, but not the worst. I'd say if you can find it for around $25-30 bucks, I would say that's a pretty good deal, but I wouldn't pay all that much more for it. Anyhow, that's my review of Dragonoid Destroyer, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the best big boy of them all.
何も私を打ち負かすことができないと、あなたに警告しました。
Drathrin, I must borrow your power. It is the only way I can defeat Metallic's Dragonoid.